In 1649, the English Parliament had executed King Charles I, and England became a republic under the oppressive regime of General Oliver Cromwell, backed by the army. The king's son, Charles II, made repeated attempts from France to regain the throne.
There is not much time, my lord. The boat back to France will be waiting in the next cove.
Lord Lucius, I'm glad you persuaded me to risk coming out of exile in France to see for myself. I know now that the people are for me. They're sick of this Cromwell and his Commonwealth. They want their King Charles II. But you have made powerful enemies. When I am back on the throne, if you should need me, send this.
I am honored, sire, but I fear that you will have enough enemies of your own. And now, if you please, I shall be king for a day.
Lucius, if anything happens to me, remember, you inherit my title as Duke of Manston. Take care of my sister, Panthea.
My life on it, Richard.
Godspeed.
Yeah! Come on!
Where do you think Richard is? It's been a year now.
They haven't got your brother yet, my Lady Panthea. That's all that counts.
Come on, girl.
When, my lady? The taxman, Mr. Drysdale.
Let him wait.
My lady, he's one of the most powerful men in the country.
Disgusts me.
Lady Panthea, good of you to deign to honor me at last.
What do you want? You've already taken everything we have.
Well, we both know what I want, my lady. I want you for my wife.
I've already answered you that a dozen times.
I'm a rich man. I have one of the greatest fortunes in the county.
Yes. Squeezed out of royalist widows and children and kept for yourself. You even cheat on your own side. If my father were alive today, he would whip you from Manston Hall.
Perhaps you won't be so haughty when you've read this.
My brother is taken.
In London. 3 days ago. He's to be executed at the Tower next week.
No.
I could save him. This is a pardon signed by the Protector, Oliver Cromwell. It will be my marriage gift to you. I desire a quiet wedding. Get your cloak. We start instantly.
My Lady Panthea needs help.
Hole in the corner business and no mistake.
If he needs coachmen, why hire us?
You ask me, you don't want no one close to him to know what he's been up to. God help that poor child in there.
May God bring blessings on your union.
Aye, no doubt. May you shut your mouth.
Here you go, Mrs. Drysdale.
Oh, Godspeed, my children.
No, please don't.
What, wife? You heard the priest, you heard the prayer book. With my body I thee worship.
Keep very still.
Silverblade. You again.
Afraid so. I've heard you carry most of your disgusting fortune around with you. I evidently missed that last time. Out of the coach.
Oh, be damned.
Out! Over there.
Now, what you took for this?
Madam, my
Come. Come, you have nothing to fear.
May we bury him?
Of course.
my brother's been captured and that he's going to be executed, but you would help him if I married him. So I did.
You will have to be very brave. The Duke of Manston was executed 2 weeks ago. You are not fit to live. I would shoot you where you stand, but that is not my way. You will duel with me for your life.
My pleasure.
He's one of the best swordsmen in England.
I know that. Take it.
Gallantry is for fools.
Rather a poor choice for a man's last words. Jack, bury the body. Get the coachman to help you. You are to forget everything you've seen. Breathe one word about it and I shall find you. Rely on it.
I will not talk. That Drysdale got what he deserved.
Lady Vyne?
It's a fortune. Huge fortune.
And not his. I shall return it to those from whom it was stolen. Farewell, Panthea.
I'll take tea in the rose garden.
Yes, please.
You took your time, my girl. Start packing her things. Better pack your own, too. I know she can't lift a finger without you. Tell Harry, the groom, he'll be wanted too, no doubt. Well, my girl, haven't you got a kiss for your poor aunt?
How lovely to see you, Aunt Emma.
Well, let's not gush on about it. There's much to do.
But I'm perfectly happy here.
You've been stubborn about this long enough. With your parents dead and now your dear brother, you cannot go on living in this house unchaperoned any longer.
But this is my home.
It's completely out of the question. The Roundheads grow more brutish every day. A 19-year-old girl on her own in this monstrous great house.
My house. I absolutely refuse to leave it like some frightened little girl.
Well, I see I'll have to tell you the truth. I'm a very lonely woman. I want you with me. Won't you come?
In 1660, Charles II succeeded in regaining his father's throne. 2 years later, he made a popular political marriage to the Portuguese princess, Catherine of Braganza.
What is it, my dear?
Barbara Castlemaine. How do you suppose the king's mistress feels when he brings his new bride home?
Insecure. She has had the king to herself for 2 years.
The new bride is the worst threat Barbara Castlemaine could possibly face.
The Countess Castlemaine looks decidedly nervous.
She has reason to be.
Perhaps the king will have to pay more attention to his new bride and less to her.
Is that Rudolph Vyne with her? I thought that pauper was old news.
Old news is sometimes a comfort.
Beats being a coachman, eh, Sergeant?
Keep your eyes to the front, you lecherous little dwarf.
Aunt Emma, who's that lady over there?
No one you would wish to know. Look away.
I've never seen so many people. Virginal little maid over there. Who is she? Oh!
Good God. I do believe it's Panthea Vyne. She's a distant cousin. My, how she has grown up.
Has she?
We Vynes do tend to blossom suddenly.
I see. Is that why you've joined everyone in goggling at her?
Oh, yes. I see what you mean. No, it's just that it was her brother. It's what I told you about. When Richard Vyne got his head chopped up, I should have got his title. But for this other cousin, Lucius. You see, Lucius is the nearer cousin, damn it. I told you, remember?
My dear, if I had to remember all your complaints against life...
But you promised. You promised to get the king to assume Lucius's death and confer the title Duke of Manson on me. I'm utterly out of funds, as bare as a peeled egg. The dukedom would restore me.
Enough, I will not go through it all again.
Oh, but you will intercede for me.
I may have to intercede for myself. First a new bride, and now a new face of just the sickly, untouched kind that can stir the king's palate.
But she is extremely rich, though nobody quite knows how.
Lady Darlington, my dear girl. Now, why have we not seen you in court before this?
I thought it was time you stood on your own 2 feet, Your Majesty.
I do not know what you call them in Portugal, dearest, but this lady was my nurse, my second mother, my...
Oh, see, I understand. Governante.
And who is this delightful wood nymph?
This is my niece, Lady Panthea Vyne.
Your Majesties.
In Portugal, you are everything we imagine when we think of English girl.
Oh, you're most kind, Your Majesty.
I wish we'd be friends. You also?
Oh, yes, I would.
I tell you what, we will make sweet Lady Vyne a lady of the Queen's bedchamber. How would that suit you, my dear?
Oh, it's very good. Oh, now tell me something that puzzles me about England.
You did say the Queen's bedchamber, Your Majesty.
I am King Charles, not St. George. I do not fight dragons, Mistress Darlington.
Lord Evesham.
My lady?
Find Sir Philip Gage.
The Solicitor General and Keeper of the King's Peace.
Are there 2 Sir Philip Gages?
Well, I was simply thinking that...
Do not. You are not fitted for it. I will await him in the orangery.
My dearest Coz, you were a child when we last met. Aunt, Rudolph. I am your cousin, Rudolph, through James and Anne on the distaff side.
Oh, well, Cousin Rudolph, how pleasant.
Panthea, Lady Darlington, permit me to present the Countess Castlemaine. I was not to know the old assassin would do that.
She will pay. I swear on my heart's blood. She and her little milksop won't know what it is to insult me.
Lady Castlemaine.
Philip, are you still my eyes and my ears?
Have I not given you proofs?
An arrogant little two-faced schemer freshly come to court, Panthea Vyne. Do you know her?
I am aware of the family, yes.
Lady Vyne. Forgive my interruption. Lady Castlemaine.
The child looks harmless enough to me.
Allow me to know. I will stand no opposition. I will brook no competition. I want my Lady Vyne watched every minute. As soon as I find her weakness, she will find herself wishing she had never been born.
Aunt Lady Darlington, Cousin Lady Vyne. You know the family tree. You could help. You both know that when Richard, Duke of Manston, died, my deepest, by the way, commiserations, I rightfully should have come into his title.
I know nothing of the sort. Lucius Vyne is the rightful heir.
Oh, Lucius Vyne. Nobody's heard of him for years. After the king fled back to France, he became, if you please, a highwayman.
A highwayman? Do you know a lot about highwaymen?
Yes. Well, no. That is, I know about as much as most folk. I was really meaning that Lucius is probably dead in some ditch by now, or hanged under one of those nicknames they all seem to attract.
Nicknames? Oh, Cousin Rudolph, you are clever knowing about such things. What sort of nicknames?
Oh, various kinds.
Well, for instance?
Jack Flash, Spring Heels, Red Scarf, that kind of thing.
Oh, it's fascinating. What was Lucius's?
Lucius's?
His nickname. You said they all had nicknames.
I do not know that I ever heard it.
Will we be moving somewhere else in the palace now you're a lady-in-waiting, milady?
Martha, do you know what happened to a cousin of mine called Lucius? Martha? Martha?
I'm sorry, milady. I don't know nothing about what happened to him.
We've known each other since we were children. You can't hide from me. Now, what is it?
Nothing, milady.
You know something, don't you? Now tell me, Martha. Oh, Martha, I'm sorry. No, don't cry. But you must tell me.
I can't. Look at me.
Was he a highwayman? Did he have a nickname? Now, as you love me, tell me, what was it?
Silver plate.
I knew it. He knew my name, and yet no one had told him. He brought me home, and yet no one told him the way. Is he still alive? What's he like?
I can't tell you no more. Can't you stop now? I'm frightened for my Jack here.
I promise I'll take good care of Jack, Martha.
But I'm sure Master Rudolph knows who you are. Where else would my Lady Panthea have got the idea from?
I can't stop now, Martha. The king may be back on his throne, but there are still too many secret roundheads in positions of power in this country. They may have changed their tune, but they haven't changed their principles.
You see, Martha, they're like a secret society. They may pay kind of lip service to the king, but inside they want to keep things the way they were.
Stand where you are!
I carry the king's seal.
You are a leech. You may have the king's seal, but you have Cromwell's heart. Out.
Thank you, Silver Blade.
Halt!
Barbara, don't look so pale. I'm not asking for a loan. You remember what sweet Will Shakespeare said? Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for neither side is happy with the interest rate.
Then what is this heartbreaking cry of distress about?
Another trifle from the king?
We were not discussing my wealth, but your poverty.
The dukedom. You promised to intercede for me with the king.
The king is still not happy about proof of your cousin Lucius's death. Remember, Lucius was very close to him.
Then why has he not come forward since the king's return?
From what I hear of Lord Lucius, he's his own man, with his own philosophy, proud, willful, ready to say damnation to the world.
I'll swear you're in love with a rumor. But no matter. I shall soon be able to provide proof of his death.
How?
By arranging for his execution as a highwayman.
What? Lord Lucius Vyne, a highwayman?
Ah, yes. I have long suspected him of being Silver Blade. And thinking about his style, I suddenly realized where he would choose to hide out. I did a little reconnaissance and found that I was right.
Where?
Firstly, I need from you a letter of introduction to your friend, Sir Philip Gage, keeper of the King's Peace.
And what is to be my interest in this venture?
A handsome present once I am Duke of Manston.
To think of you, my old lover, as Duke of Manston.
If you hadn't married that old fool, Castlemaine, you could have been the Duchess.
Oh, my dear, I've exhausted all your mysteries. Well, nearly all. I wonder you don't marry that little milksop cousin of yours. Then you'd be doubly rich. Or has she set herself another target? The king, perhaps?
I'm sure she has no such idea.
That milky, modest face doesn't deceive me. She might comport herself like a nun, but inside... Oh!
If you'll permit me.
Make way for the king.
The king! Not that way, you fool! The king would expect of me a better class of infidelity than you.
For God's sake. Are you enjoying court, pretty Panthea?
Oh, from what I see, I find it fascinating.
I could show you some of the deeper reaches, if you wish.
My niece is quite happy to float in the shallows. Thank you.
Well, then, let me see. If you'll excuse me, ladies, court business.
Why is it I dislike Rudolph Vyne so much, Aunt?
Innate good taste.
Who is that gentleman he's talking to?
That? Is Sir Philip Gage, Solicitor General and Scourge of Highwayman. He's sworn not to rest until every last man of them is hanged.
A pardon is on its way. From the king.
No doubt. But we do things my way here.
My dear Lady Vyne, you've been neglecting us.
But I've been with the Queen every day this week, Your Majesty.
The Queen, yes. But the Queen is not the king.
Just as I am not a man.
I think there's not a gentleman in my court who is not aware of that.
What I meant was, Your Majesty, I can hardly sit on the edge of your bed and gossip for hours.
Oh, I do not know. Cousin, Rudolph Vyne. Your Majesty.
Your Majesty. Lady Vyne. I have been seeking you, sire. I have been informed as to the whereabouts of the notorious Highwayman's silver blade. Sire, he is bold and he is clever. And he is extremely dangerous. I shall need a company of men to help apprehend him, sire.
Oh, yes, Silver Blade. I hear he's something of a Robin Hood. Behaves like a gentleman.
He nevertheless, sire, represents a threat to the very foundation of Your Majesty's law and Your Majesty's order.
I'm not saying he shall not pay the price, Sir Philip. You shall have your soldiers.
Thank you, sire.
Oh, by the by, where's he hiding?
If I may tell you that, sire, in a little more privacy.
Ah, yes. Most circumspect. When do you move?
Later this evening.
Very well.
Lady Vyne, Your Majesty.
Milady?
Now this time you must tell me everything.
My lady, please, I told you, I don't know nothing.
You're lying to me. I thought that was something that could never happen.
My lady, I'm under oath.
Sir Philip Gage has discovered the hiding place and he is going there tonight with an army of soldiers. If you know where Silverblade is hiding out, you must tell me.
Lady, I'm sorry. I was sworn to secrecy. My fiancé, Jack, your groom, Harry's son. He's one of Lord Lucius's band. I'm terrified for him.
The hiding place now, where is it?
I don't know. And that's the truth. But Harry does.
Thank you. I shall not be needing you again today.
Very good, my lady.
Tell Harry to expect me by the stables. Now go and hurry.
My lady. We have a huge start on us. We can cut cross country. Ladyship has news to impart to you, my lord. News of the utmost importance with regard to your safety.
Lucius, I've come to warn you. I was with the king today, and Sir Philip Gage told him that he'd received information about your hiding place.
Jack, Gage is on his way. Go through the house, remove all traces. Rory, get the horses ready. The ancestral home of the Vynes. The last place I would have thought they'd look for Silver Blade. How did they find out?
Cousin Rudolph, I'm sure of it. He's desperate to inherit the title and the estate. He's even petitioned the king to have Manston restored to him. He spends all his nasty little days scheming how to be accepted as the head of the family and the Duke of Manston.
Does it really mean that much to him? Why, if the poor devil wants the dukedom that much, he is very welcome to it.
How can you say that? Does Manston mean so little to you? You are the Duke now. To Father, this house, the family history, it meant more to him than I can even begin to tell you. My brother Richard died in the service of the king. You have taken his place now. His trust has been handed to you. You cannot deal with that lightly or refuse your birthright.
Forgive me. I've grown accustomed to laughing at things which are most sacred. I love this house. And all that is in it.
Then go to the king. Tell him who you are. If you ask for a pardon, you could obtain a reprieve. Countless other people have done so.
Alas, I cannot. You see, there is a price on my head. 1,000 guineas, I've been told. I have too many enemies who would make sure that my petition for mercy did not reach His Majesty before it was too late. Besides, there is work to be done. King's work, which he cannot even know about.
I don't understand.
Well, you see, the king's job is to heal this torn land. And to do that, he must shut his eyes to some things. Wrongs which should be righted. I am a lord of this realm, and I see it as my task to do those things which the king may not. If he were even to know about it, he would be forced to condemn me.
All I see is a man who does so much for others and yet is forced to live as an outlaw himself.
And you? Are you happy at the court? Doubtless there are hundreds of young gallants only too eager to make you so.
Oh, I've had many offers of marriage.
Well, then you should take one. And come and live here. I can see you now, dining at this very table with your children playing on the lawn outside, meeting your husband by the lake at twilight. You would be very happy.
Yes. But not with anyone else.
You should not wait for me.
I should not. But I shall. You must go. Soldiers will be here at any time.
How can I go now that I have found my only happiness?
If you die, I shall die with you.
My lord, they're here.
You go, I shall follow.
No, you must go, but don't worry about me.
I cannot go and leave you.
I can delay them, but this is my house. I've every right to be here.
What will you say?
Leave that to me now. Please, please go.
You will never be out of my thoughts or my protection.
Will you understand every damn Jew? Search your house!
Come on, upstairs. Lively now, come on.
Rudolph! What on earth are all these men doing here?
Panthea, what the devil? What are you doing here?
Well, I suppose a lady is allowed to sit quietly in her own house.
My apologies, sir. Excuse me. I was informed that this place was the sanctuary of the notorious Highwayman, Silverblade.
Sir Philip. Manston Hall has always attracted strange tales of hauntings and so forth, but never a highwayman. You break new ground, sir.
It may well be your house, but you do not live in it. What are you doing here?
It's something I've been doing rather a lot recently. I get rather homesick. I can't bear to think of this place being abandoned.
Sir Philip, captured a man at the back. They're bringing him now.
Harry! It's It's my groom. Well, if he's the notorious Silver Blade, there's no hope for any of us. Are you the wicked Silver Blade, Harry?
No, my lady.
Really?
Search the house. And the cellar to the attic. Search the house, I say! Go on! Every cupboard and every corner.
Shall I get the horses, my lady?
Yes, thank you, Harry.
My lady.
I'm not a total fool, you know.
Oh, I never thought you that, Cousin Rudolph.
Well, any sign? Nothing, sir. Oh, for God's sake, man, the place is full of hidden passages. But we've looked everywhere, sir. Here, give me that. Get your back into it!
Enough! This is my home! Has it come to this, then, sir? That having got rid of Cromwell, an Englishwoman must still stand by and watch her house be defiled and wrecked and still be able to do nothing about it? Have a care, sir. I am the sister of the late Duke of Manston, and he died in the service of His Majesty. I myself have the ear of the king, and I can assure you, sir, he will hear of this.
My apologies, my lady. As I've already told you, I was informed. I had assumed, reliably. I shall have my men dismissed immediately. Sergeant, stand your men down. Outside! Get them out of the house now.
Harry!
Yes, my lady?
My cloak, if you please.
My lady.
You shall not try to make trouble for me with the king. I'm not deceived by your play acting.
Let go of me, Cousin Rudolph. I said let go of me, or I shall call for help from some of your bumbling soldiers.
Well?
I have a fellow outside. If you handle him the way only you can, I believe he will solve all our problems.
How so?
You get rid of Panthea, I get rid of Lucius in one stroke.
You interest me strangely. Who is this fellow?
I shall not predispose you in any way. I wish it to come to you exactly as it came to me.
Sergeant!
I want you to tell her ladyship what you told me.
I had to put it all together in pieces, like, in my mind.
Here are some different pieces. Perhaps they will help your memory. There must be a year's pay here. And there's more, if your memory doesn't fail you.
It was about 4 years ago, when I were a coachman. that's all I can tell you, milady.
Sergeant, may I suggest that the facts, as you told them to me, can be looked at in quite a different way?
Oh, no, milady. That Drysdale, that so-called husband of hers, he certainly got what he deserved. He was an animal.
Come now, Sergeant. Nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Let's go over it again, shall we?
Everything all right, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
You were quite right. This is certainly the end of Panthea Vyne. Quite how it helps you, I do not know.
That I will explain in due course.
The important thing is we move at once. The king sails for France this afternoon. And without him, there's nothing even that ogre, Lady Darlington, can do.
Oh, Aunt, do you think I look suitable?
Good heavens, girl, do stop fussing. You look exquisite. Anyone would think this is the first supper party you've ever been to.
Well, it's the first one the Lord Chancellor has given at court this season. I don't wish to disgrace you in front of all those grand guests.
What great nonsense.
Disgrace me? You're the jewel in my crown, girl. Now get on with it.
I trust you won't find it too fleshy of me, Your Grace, but my stomach is beginning to positively shout for food.
Take no notice, Your Grace. The Lord Chancellor is like all you men, simply a big belly completely surrounded by self-esteem.
There's a great deal to be esteemed, dear Lady Darlington.
We only wait the arrival of Sir Philip Gage, and he is never late.
What, Sir Philip, you bring soldiers with you to supper?
I regret, Lady Darlington, that I come in duty. Not as a guest.
Your duties, Sirrah?
Aye. And a painful duty it is, my lord. Lady Panthea Vyne, I arrest you for the murder of your husband, Christian Drysdale. In the name of the law.
I fear the king has sailed for France. But you must not despair. Sir Lawrence Dobson is the finest lawyer in England. He'll make short shrift of this nonsense.
Thank you, Aunt. Well, my girl, let us not... Let us... Oh, Aunt...
Oh, everything all right with our young mistress, milady?
Oh. See that she has everything she wants.
Yes, milady.
Lady Vyne, the Solicitor General is going to say that this highwayman is a creature of yours, hired for the sole purpose of murdering your husband for his money.
But, Sir Lawrence, this is just not true.
It would help your case immeasurably if you could say who this Silver Blade actually is and why he should thus help you. His identity, if you can prove it, is the key to your life.
I am unable.
Unable?
I do not know. I have no idea who this man is.
I think you do know.
No, sir, I do not know.
I believe you do. And if I'm to defend you, you must help me. Tell me.
I cannot.
Cannot or will not?
I cannot. Sir Lawrence, I truly value your wish to help me, but I cannot give you the information you require. I certainly do not wish to embarrass you. I shall represent myself at the trial.
That is certain disaster.
I have no doubt that you are right, but I have no choice.
Lady Vyne, I beg of you.
I am sorry, sir, but my mind is made up.
If you reconsider, you know where I can be reached.
Do you realize what you're doing, child? The only reason Sir Lawrence took your case was on my direct intervention. If you refuse his help, there's nothing further I can do. This Silver Blade, if only you could say something.
Aunt Emma, I cannot.
Sergeant Potter. Sergeant Seth Potter. Would you please tell the court in your own words what happened?
Well, after Mr. Drysdale was taken away, Lady Vyne got out of the coach, and she and the highwayman, Silver Blade, embraced.
They embraced, you say?
Oh, yes, sir. She put her head on his chest.
Tell me, did she not in any way seem to be in fear of this man?
No, sir. It was as if they were old friends.
I see. And then?
Well, then the highwayman, Silver Blade, took something out of the coach, and he and Lady Vyne went into the woods with it together.
Did you see what it was that they took from this coach?
Oh, no, sir. But he was carrying it very carefully.
Tell me, Sergeant, have you heard any speculation as to the source of Lady Vyne's considerable fortune?
Yes, sir.
Really? In what sense?
In the sense that no one could make out where it come from.
Tell me, could what her accomplice... I beg the court's pardon. Could what the highwayman... Could what the highwayman took from this coach have been a coffer of gold?
It could have been, yes, sir.
It was not a dog, it was the dog that my husband murdered!
Lady Vyne, you do yourself no good. Sir Philip, pray continue.
I am obliged, my lord. What happened next, Sergeant?
Well, the next thing we knew, Mr. Drysdale was dead, and we were made to help bury him in the woods.
Dead?
Yes.
How?
He'd been run through the chest.
I see. And then?
Then Silver Blade gave us 5 sovereigns to keep our mouths shut and sent us packing.
Leaving him alone with the accused and the alleged coffer of gold?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what was the attitude of the accused at that time?
Well, she was leaning on the highwayman's arm, cozy like.
Leaning upon the highwayman's arms, cozy like. Thank you, Sergeant. You may stand down.
Just one moment, Sir Philip. Stay where you are. Who represents Lady Vyne in this matter?
I understand, my lord, that she is defending herself.
Indeed. Have you any questions to ask this witness?
Yes, my lord.
Very well.
Sergeant, is it not true that the highwayman and Mr. Drysdale fought a duel?
Oh, yes, my lady.
Well, then, is it not fair to say that the highwayman gave Mr. Drysdale a fair chance?
I don't know many highwaymen as gives their victims a fair chance at a duel, my lady.
Any further demonstration and I shall clear the court. Do you want to ask the witness anything further?
Yes, my lord.
Very good.
There were 2 coachmen there that night, were there not?
Yes, my lady.
So then, where is your colleague? Why is he not here to give evidence as well?
He died of the fever a year ago, my lady. But if he was here, he wouldn't have said any different, my lord.
It is nearly 4 years ago since this event took place. Why has it taken you quite so long to come forward with this accusation?
Well, you heard what he said yourself, my lady, that silver blade. He said if we talked, he'd find us and put the quietness on us for good.
Have you any more questions to ask this witness?
No, my lord.
Then you may step down.
That concludes the case for the prosecution, my lord.
Very good. Do you wish to go into the witness box and give evidence on your own behalf?
Yes, my lord, I most certainly do.
Very well.
Are you asking us to believe, madam, that this gallant highwayman rescued you from a forced marriage for no other reason than out of the kindness of his heart?
Yes. He's a truly, truly good man.
You speak quite as if you know him.
No.
But you know who he is.
No. All that I know is that he is a man of honor who has done no wrong.
If he has done no wrong, I pray you, madam, why is he not in this court to speak on your behalf?
Because you would seize him and behead him. You would never believe that he was a man of honor.
Once again, madam, I pray you, the name of this man.
I do not know.
You do not know. Is Manston Hall your home?
Sorry, I beg your pardon?
Is Manston Hall your home?
It was my home.
And was it to Manston Hall I went a while back to arrest the highwayman Silverberg?
Go down to it.
Yes.
But I did not find him, did I? The bird had flown. Instead, I found you guarding his back.
I'm sorry, sir. I do not know what you mean.
I mean, ma'am, that you and your paramour, this so-called Silver Blade, have been conducting an illicit union at your former home, funded by the wealth for which you married and he murdered your husband.
No, that's not true! Lucius! Help me!
Lady Panthea Vyne, you have been found guilty of the foul murder of your husband, Mr. Christian Drysdale. It is the duty of those born as you were to higher estate to give a shining example to others less fortunate. Instead, you sank to the deepest infamy of which mankind is capable. The sentence of this court is that you be taken from hence to the Tower of London, where your head shall be severed from your body according to the law of the land. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Excuse me for interrupting. If I might ask you all to keep very still, and that includes you, my lord. My Lady Vyne. Come quickly.
Yet.
Excuse me.
Take this. Ask Lady Darlington to give it to the king.
Very pretty. How generous of you. Cousin Lucius.
Take them away!
In 7 days' time, Cousin Lucius will be swinging from a rope at Tyburn.
While Panthea's silly little head tumbles into a basket at the tower. I drink to the future Duke of Manston.
She can stay here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I wouldn't look out over there, my lady. Not very interesting, only carpenters.
And what of Lucius? He's in Newgate prison with my Jack and the others.
Roast quail today, my lord, followed by the finest of venison, and sweetbreads in Burgundy wine.
You're wasted here, Crowell. You should be at the playhouse.
Your lady friend's scaffold goes apace at the tower. She can see it from her window. 4 days to go.
Milady?
No, Martha, I cannot. What are they doing to Lucius?
Panthea, my dear. Aren't you going to kiss your aunt?
Have you seen Lucius?
No, they wouldn't give me access. They said he was a common highwayman.
Highwayman?
He'd want you to be brave, my dear.
I shall be, Aunt. When the time comes.
Day after tomorrow. Thought you might like to know they've arranged the times poetic-like. You and her. You'll be going off together. Only she won't have you to help her through.
Kral, if you don't want to die, get out.
Come away, my lady. Does no good.
Do you realize, Martha, those drums that drown out anything I might shout?
I'd have thought Silver Blade would have come up with something before this. He will. He will! You better be sharp about it. Day after tomorrow, and we're all dead. Shut up!
I saw you in the courtroom.
Ah.
You know who I am.
Who is not aware of the beauty of the age?
I brought you to this.
I'd assumed that clown Rudolph did not plan to haunt himself.
I could have you freed.
Price?
Most men would consider it a prize, not a price.
I am honored.
Then...
And Lady Panthea. Could you free her too?
Forget her. That bloodless little novice could never satisfy a man like you. You need a woman. You need me. No man has ever resisted me. I know how to pleasure a man. We could share a carnival of pleasure. I know it. We are of a kind.
You are wrong. We are not of a kind. It is an emotion you would not understand, but I love Lady Panthea Vyne, and even if I did not, my choice would hardly fall on you.
Then die. Die, you and your puling little green stick maid. And when they hoist you at Tyburn, I will swing on your heels.
Somebody here, my lady. He's come about. What's his job, you see? One blow. Please, God. Better make the most of it. It's your last one. We're making bets on who goes off first tomorrow. You or your trollop. I'm betting she wins by a short head.
Knew you'd crack in the end.
How can I go now that I've found my only happiness? You will never be out of my thoughts or my protection.
Damnation!
Thank you, sire. A petition from Kent, Your Majesty.
I won't wait a second longer. In 15 minutes, they'll both be dead. I claim my inheritance now. You must give me an audience.
Oh, for heaven's sake, you're getting it. The king only came back from France last night.
Come, child.
It is.
And I therefore claim the dukedom of Manston as my legitimate inheritance.
Tell me, where did you get that?
You fool!
Back. Come on. Back the other way.
Thank you for my ring. It was always one of my favorites. Now, where's my hat?